This morning, I had a conversation with a dear friend, and she explained to me how much she loves having conversations about new insights and new ways of looking at life. It feels to her like being in a sandbox as a kid, in the park. And I have that joy as well. And it's something that I'm really grateful for, to have this kind of introspective nature, but not everybody is like that. We all have different processes and different ways of coping with life. So I cannot expect everybody to, even though any positive change in life, we need to be having awareness in order to bring about that positive change, right? It's not something that you can do without awareness. But the way that that awareness comes about is different for everybody. So, what I want to share here is really about the Brene Brown saga, how it affected me yesterday when I saw those posts. Initially, I didn't know that she posted about the conflict in Israel and Gaza, and she had done a live recently because she wasn't online for a long time. So initially, I made a post in my stories about this, like to really understand that she had struggled with her mom with Alzheimer, very quick decline in the last few years. So she was caregiving and not being so present online. Um, that's what I heard on the live when I watched her. And although it was a deafening silence regarding all this injustice that is going on in the world, I really felt like giving her the benefit of the doubt. And I haven't read her um, post yet about this issue. And I'm holding myself back for now because I can't cope with it at the moment. I'm not ready to have that reckoning. And at the same time, I want to admit that I have a privilege that many people who have a big platform don't have, especially a big one like Brene Brown has. And that is that I have different accounts. Like this one, Clara Wasserstein. This is my original Instagram account. I use it for my secular friends, not my Hasidic friends, and I can share all my thoughts on Gaza. But my other Instagram account, Yiddish, is only for my Yiddish speaking clients and friends who have, most of them are Holocaust survivor grandkids and have gone through trauma, like significant trauma, in a way where, like they say, when you are in survival mode, your frontal lobe is like offline. There's nobody to talk to. Like they're just in survival mode. There's no chance to use common sense and have a broader perspective on things. So there's zero point in me sharing anything about Gaza over there, although I do share insights and thoughts and feelings that I have on this matter without saying Gaza, just because it's thoughts that are always applicable in life, especially in the times that we live in now. So that being said, this morning I had an interesting frustration because someone I care about, someone I love, was saying something that really irked me like tremendously. They were talking about somebody very degradingly, and I realized, why is it actually so insufferable to me? Because I still have some excavating to do. I still have some reckoning with my own internalized, whatever they want to call it, dehumanization, whatever you want to call it, that I have been programmed with, where this mindset of like I have to degrade somebody else to prove that I have value was really very much like ingrained from a young age. And a lot of people have that, and it's really horrific to watch online how people just tear each other down. Like, it's so easy to tear somebody down, right? It doesn't take any introspection. It doesn't take any inner work to do that. You just blurt out the most mean, condemning, degrading statement, and you're done. And for the moment, it feels good, right? And at the same time, it's like it's like drinking salt water. It doesn't satiate the inner burning in you, which demands We all, like this, the song goes, change yourself and you will change the world. We need to all bring to the table what we wish to see in the world. Meaning, we can't offload the pain and try somebody else to do the things that are really begging inside of us to do. And what happens when we watch this shit show going down online, whether it's people trying to attack Brene Brown, which, like I posted yesterday, the link, there was somebody who really gave a beautiful explanation of where this comes from and how, like, our minds have been occupied by this mindset of like neutrality, diplomacy. Like, these things are not relevant now, because being neutral when there are literally children being massacred is destroying our humanity. So obviously everybody has their own experience in learning about this, their own limited information about it, unless you're a scholar on the subject. But listening to people on the ground, listening to people like Motaz and Bisan, have taught me enough to know where I stand in this, right? And at the same time, we can see how this is a reckoning in our society on a collective level. It's really awakening something very visceral in all of us, even though massacres have been going on for as long as human history exists, right? And massacres have been a lot worse now that we have all these sophisticated methods of destroying each other, right? So if you look at Hiroshima, if you look at all kinds of different horrific things that humans have done, even in recent years, right? If you look at Sri Lanka's, the way that they decimated the, I don't remember if it's Tulu people, I don't remember the name, I'm sorry. But like, if we look at all the horrific things that have been happening, but they haven't been documented live like this one. So it's awakening us to really, like, have to expulge, like, to vomit out this venom that we have ingested for so many years, to not care about what is going on like a few miles away from us, because we don't see it, because we're comfortable in our own home. And what is happening is also very much that the concept of pedestals is tumbling down. Like, this whole way that society has been until now, it's recently already started to weaken because of TikTok and social media, where everybody can just be themselves and have a following. But this is like on the next level, because we have had people that we idolized, that we put on a pedestal, that we used as a guiding post for us, for how we should behave in this world. And now it's like a real breakdown of that. Like, there's nobody that you can look up to for how you need to show up in this world. There's people that you can take cues from. There's people you can learn from, people you can listen to who inspire you. And at the same time, you have a unique mission and opportunity in this time of that we live in. You have something to contribute that nobody else can. You have your truth to share that nobody else can. And obviously, you don't have to talk before you supply yourself. And as I said, first has to be addressed the parts in us. We had a beautiful session. My coach Savia Dagba was addressing this concept, like, whatever we see outside of us is pointing us at something that is inside of us. And when we really start loving the parts in us that we have thrown into the shadow, and we have compassion for it, we are able to navigate the world with more compassion, even during such times as now. Because what happens is, when you have behaved badly and put that part of you in the shadows. Let's say you have been really recklessly harming someone because you were angry and you lashed out in a very harmful way. What happens is, if you haven't reckoned with that, it's going to make you angry every time you see that situation unfolds in different ways in around you, whether it's in the grander world, or it's in your own immediate family, or your own life. And the approach of really having compassion doesn't mean that you say it was right what you did, but understanding the humanity of yourself, that you are fallible, and also making amends, just not just saying whatever done was done is done. We always have a responsibility to make amends, to like the saying that we always hear in the marches: no justice, no peace, right? You cannot have inner peace if you haven't done justice to some harm that you've done. And justice doesn't mean that you can ever undo what has been done, but to do a substantial amount of effort to make up for it, right? So when we have compassion, again, it doesn't mean that you put up with BS, that you fool yourself into thinking that it's okay. Compassion is adding that loving component to yourself and understanding that you are human and you will make mistakes. And that doesn't deny the fact that you deserve dignity and love and belonging despite of it. Always. It's your birthright. So I think I've rambled enough. I just wanted to share how this is really, as I said, I feel like I have the privilege because I have different platforms where I can curate my shares in a way that it serves the people that I'm talking to. And Brene Brown has this huge platform where she has to talk to everybody at once. I have like TikTok, two accounts. One is Loving Yourself is Key, where I only share about self-care, and that's where the people who have been through trauma come, and I'm not talking about Gaza there directly. And then I have my account Shifra Alone, where I openly talk about it. So it's really a privilege that I feel that I have. And on LinkedIn as well. I do speak to Hasidic people over there, to Yiddish speaking and English speaking ultra Orthodox Jews, but it's not in a way like it's a different, what is it called, demographic. It's people who are established with their businesses, they have financial security, they have the headspace to think. So here and there I drop mindfully what I can share about this subject. I hope you have a wonderful weekend, and thank you for listening.